After the first building exploded and went to move out of the way, there was just walking through this debris. It was like all volcanic ash. Just everything was coated in it, and
you're covered.
I'm covered,
yeah.
And just single pieces of paper. You're walking through, you're seeing briefcases, you're seeing shoes, you're seeing just, I mean, like I said, single pieces of paper with people's handwriting that a whole building explodes and they're left unscathed, just sitting there flapping. You know, I mean.
Michael, thank you so much for spending time with us and telling us what you saw. Another person who saw it is one of other reporters, Cheryl Fiandaca, who was down, literally, you were right next to these buildings when they came down.
Right, we were about 2 blocks away when the second explosion hit, and all we heard was just this small explosion, then you saw a roar of an explosion and all kinds of smoke billowing out, debris falling down, people running, the firefighters and police screaming at everyone to run as the debris was coming down and hitting people. It's just total chaos and incredibly frightening situation down there.
I saw the video that was actually taken right where you were, and people running out and coughing and unable to breathe at all.
Oh, it's unbelievable. There's between the smoke and whatever debris and everything else that's floating through the air, and there's also some concerns that there may be something in the air down there, so people are rolling up their windows, firefighters have their masks on,
right.
And they're asking everybody to stay away, although people are still trying to get down there to see what's going on.
No, I know.
It's a very scary situation down there.
No, the whole city's on lockdown. People have been asking us, they've been coming up to us saying, are the subways open? No, they're on lockdown. The bridges and tunnels are closed. There's no way to get out of the city except for by foot. And you can see it's kicking up a lot of this dust as all of the emergency vehicles come out of here. People have been asking you as well as I, is this chemical, biological warfare? Do we know? We have no idea. It's just an acrid smell.
Right.
What happened?
Right. We just have no idea at this point. There are a lot of injuries and a lot of problems down there. A lot of firefighters are injured, and we've seen tons of ambulances going by most of the morning as we've been here watching what's going on. It's just it's an incredible situation. Incredible.
Apocalyptic. I have to say that the words ring true. The photojournalist who said it's hard to be a journalist and not be a human being. And watch this. We're all New Yorkers, and we're all Americans. And
you're about to see the first tower collapse.
Unbelievable video.
It is an image that will be with us forever.
There are so many images from these last 2 hours that will stay with us forever. I tell you, I am struck by the picture from earlier of the F-16 patrolling the airspace around New York. That we would ever come to a day when that would be necessary, when we would have to bring in F-16s to make sure our airspace was clear and safe.
Smoke still pour. Now, you heard Sarah Wallace earlier say we in the Eyewitness Newsroom have gotten a couple calls reporting an explosion at the Embassy Suites hotels in Battery Park City. Jeff Rawson, at about 11:15 or 11:10, was reporting live and said he heard an explosion. We want to get an update on what might be happening down there because that's new smoke rising.
I was in One World Trade Center.
And what was it like in there? Did they start evacuating?
Yeah, as soon as it got hit, I was thrown to a window. So I was very lucky to get out. There's a lot of people that didn't get out. There's a lot of people coming down the stairs, burnt up. It's bad.
Were there other people that were hurt, were lying
there? There was a lot of people hurt. They were lying on the floors, coming down the stairs. A lot of people had asthma attacks while they were coming down. It was bad. It hit in One World Trade Center, it hit somewhere on the 67th floor. I was on the 56th.
And was it chaos trying to come down the steps?
Yes.
What was it like? Describe it.
Everybody was on top of each other trying to come down, and then somebody finally calmed the crowd down to get them to come down the stairs in an orderly fashion and get them out of the building.
And you've heard reporters and witnesses describe an acrid odor in the air, and the air in that part of Manhattan still filled with dust and particles from the explosions and a collapse this morning.
This is the shot from our camera above the Empire State Building, on top of the Empire State Building, now the tallest building in New York. Joe Torres is on the scene. Joe, we have not heard from you for a while. Be honest, your wife called in, told her over there you were okay. Where are you, and what do you see?
You know what, Glenn?
Joe, you're on.
Joe, you're up.
Hi, everyone. I don't know where to begin. My photographer, Glenn Mayrose, and I are safe. We're okay back at St. Vincent's. Let's just tell you what we went through. At the time that the first collapse occurred, we were 2 blocks away, as close as police were going to allow us to get. talking to fellow police officers, FBI agents, etc., when all of a sudden we heard a rumble. We were just about underneath the World Trade Towers, and I think our first impression was that it was a subway. We thought it was a subway, and that if this was a terrorist attack, that they had attacked, obviously, the World Trade Center up high, and that something was going to happen down low. It felt like an earthquake. We hear this rumbling beneath our feet. We have no idea what it is. Someone says subway, and all of us put it together, and we say the attack is now perhaps the subway underneath us. We didn't know what direction to run. The crowd immediately started running up Church Street from Lower Manhattan.
Call the police.
At this point, it's anyone go where you think you can get safe. It was a full sprint for FBI officers, for NYPD, for fire, for press, for media, for victims who had come out of the towers, not knowing what this is happening. We ran 5-6 blocks. And the smoke at this point, this is where it's like out of a movie, because we turn around over our shoulders, and the smoke at this point is coming closer and closer to us. And we don't know what's in the smoke, where the smoke has come from, and we have no idea at this point that the top of one of the towers is no longer there. We're still under the impression that this was perhaps a subway, and that as we were running, the street below us was going to shake and come out from under our feet.
Today, this is often a pattern in terrorist attacks. There's one explosion, everyone moves in to rescue or protect, and then a second explosion. So you are, in effect, hurting, harming, killing perhaps more people. There were emergency personnel that were undoubtedly in that area this morning when the second plane came in, and then when the first tower collapsed, as well as then the second one came down.
This is Newscopter 7. I have to tell you, that does not look like dust. That is smoke, fire smoke. We are hearing reports of a second explosion in Battery Park City. We're trying to confirm that. We heard Jeff Rawson about an hour ago, a little less than an hour ago, hear an explosion as he was doing a live report. Jim, go on.
Well, one of the things, during the World Trade Center trial, the original trial of the World Trade Center bombing, the original one, one of the things that came out was that the World Trade Center was originally built to withstand a full force impact of a 727 aircraft, because the 727 was the largest thing in the air at that time. Even back then, they knew that it would be a symbol, that it would be a potential target. They wanted to make it as strong as possible.
At 12 noon, we want to give you a rundown and recap of what exactly has happened. There's been a horrific, obviously, attack, a moment that will change everyone's life in this country, certainly here in New York City, and indeed the world. 8:45 this morning, we have a timeline. If we can put some of that up and maybe split this screen so we can see it. 8:45, one plane ran into tower number 1.
Bill,
this is the second plane. You can see it is a 767 running into tower number 2 at approximately 9:03. At 9:35, a plane attacked the Pentagon in Washington. At 10 a.m., you're seeing it here, the first collapse of the South Tower. At 10:15, the State Department reports a car bomb exploded in Washington out front of its building. And at 10:30, the collapse of the second tower of the World Trade Center.
Images that will stay with us forever. We are looking here at a ground shot of the what will be the first building collapsing. We're about to see that in just a moment. And
now this is a shot of the Pentagon earlier today.
This is the first time I've seen this tape.
This is also the Pentagon, Jim.
Yeah, this is the helipad that the plane crashed into right outside the Pentagon.
You're about to see one collapse, the first tower collapse, I believe. There it goes.
Yes, there it is.
This was at 10 o'clock this morning, 2 hours and 4 minutes ago. And the second collapse happened 30 minutes later. Again, this is earlier from Newscopter 7.
And I think, Bill, what we're going to see next is a ground shot of that same collapse. This is the second building collapsing. I remember the skeleton of the building still standing there. And now disappearing, all of it.
200,000 tons of steel, 425,000 cubic yards of concrete, 44,000 windows in the two towers.
And that's a ground shot of the building collapsing.